Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's see how it plays out. Ball is ready. And Terang does square, gets a bunt down. Here comes Dan. He scores! A squeeze bunt walk-off.
I said, it's a good idea to put a bunt down the first base line right here. He'll win the game. Kid strikes out 3 times and then comes and does that. It'll mean like he wasn't having his best game. He's been swinging the bat great for us. He just stayed with it.
It's unbelievable. I mean, what he did is great. Kept us in the game, pitched his game, and I mean, it's great. It's so much fun to watch.
Ball to center field. Harris is back. Oh, tight! Inevitable!
You know, I think last year, his first bobblehead night, he walked it off with a grand slam, and then he another home run walk-off on his bobblehead night. So you just feel that he's going to do something special.
They have tabled the discussion until the May meeting in Minneapolis, and that tells you that there is more discussion needed about this hotly contested topic. That,
you know, as we saw this year, I mean, returns were up to almost 30%, but still a lot of teams had the philosophy just to kick it deep in the end zone, and they play defense from the 30. Now that comes out to the 35, I think you're going to see a majority of kicks come down in the field of play.
Hey, Jimmy, what are you looking forward to next football season? I don't know, Dad. I'm 9 years old. Are you interested in what the guys are going to do on the football field for the team you root for? No, Dad. You know what I want to see? What do you want to see, Jimmy? More replays, Dad. That's why I like football. This isn't that difficult. I do not need expanded replay.
And neither do I. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome to the Thursday Sports Day show. It's been rough, folks. It's my 3rd day of work this week. I'm going to have to put in a 4-day work week. It's outlandish. Anyway, glad you joined us for the Thursday show. I have a pretty good one lined up today. We're on Great Bend Panther baseball with head coach Randy Beck. He's going to be joining the fun here in the Mayo Money Management Studio. We'll talk about this year's edition of Baseball Panthers. Voice the Cougars, Cole Rife's going to be in. We'll put the Barton basketball season to bed. And Sports Day Track and Field Insider Mike Corson returns to his old haunting grounds. He'll provide some insights on the high school track season so far. Great Bend starting their season today and tonight. I'm joined on the program today by special guest host Garrett Fitzpatrick, who I've got a very important question to ask you in just a moment, and our studio engineer is Landon Winkler, who, Landon, you weren't very impressed with that picture from my vacation of that plate full of Ethiopian food, were you?
I was pretty impressed by your face, your reaction.
Well, that's about what I thought about it, too. But
how many times have you ever heard someone say they're impressed with your face?
Very good point. That is a very...
Landon just earned himself a raise.
That is a very, very good point. But, you know, when you're whining, and you can't, you know, your daughter's organized the whole trip. I mean, she knows exactly where you're going, and you can't even get her to stop at a Waffle House. We've got to go eat Ethiopian. Good Lord. Anyway. Thanks for joining us here on the show. So that's what's on today. Let's get to our sounds the past 24 hours or so. Oh, I've got a question to ask for you.
Okay.
Fantasy baseball question. So we're heading almost into the weekend. There's almost no games being played today.
Yeah.
The Iuka Hustlers, defending Tiger Ball champions,
okay.
World Series champions, 2 of the last 3 years.
Congratulations.
My entire team, as a team, is hitting 180.
So you have some Mets and some Braves on your team?
Well, I do, and so Francisco Lindor is off to a 1-for-28 start.
Yeah. You got RBI.
He did. I mean, yeah, it was one I thought, this can turn it around.
Right.
No, it's not anyway.
You had a couple of errors, too.
So.
Does that hurt your, do you have anything on defense? Does that do anything?
Used to. We don't take that back. It was just a weird stat, but I liked it. Anyway,
I have faith. He'll turn it around just like last year.
You talked me out of it. I mean, he's the most overlooked hustler on the team. So hopefully he gets it going. Okay, Let's get to the sounds past 24 hours or so. The call from yesterday's Milwaukee-Kansas City game. The game-winning hit, Garrett. What do you think the exit velo on it was?
That was a great suicide squeeze, though. That's a great bunt.
13.2 miles per hour was the exit velocity. They had it on there. And it traveled 10 feet.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. The bunt Bryce Trang put down to score Oliver Dunn in the 11th inning. That gave Milwaukee their 3-2 win. That's after the Royals had scored a run in the top of the 10th. Milwaukee matched it with a run in the bottom of the 11th, and they lose it the bottom of the 10th. They tied it 1 in the bottom of the 11th. Off the bunt of Trang, who had been 0 for 5 before that, and his manager, Pat Murphy, it seemed like he was describing your baseball career. Here's a guy, man, he's just struggled all day. He's 0 for 5, and he found a way to get it done.
That was, isn't a squeeze one of the most exciting plays in baseball? I mean, fun games in baseball. I like the squeeze.
I like it, yeah. But if you're a pitcher, you're supposed to throw the ball right between the guy's eyes.
Exactly.
Obviously,
no, we're supposed to throw it down low and around his bottom area.
No, I threw it if you want to try suicide bunt.
Because then you get a lot of fines if you say that.
Not back in my day, by golly, when we played.
You can ask Coach Beck about throwing at his bottom area.
Okay. And we'll have that discussion coming up. You heard Bryce Trang talk about their starting pitcher, Freddie Peralta. 2 hits, struck out 8, tied his career high with 8 innings. In the game, the Royals got a run in the first and then didn't get anybody on base for about the next 7 innings. Royals scored 11 in the first game of the series, scored exactly 1 in the next 20 innings. So Kansas City, off to a 2-4 start, they get the day off. They'll open a weekend series at home against the Baltimore Orioles.
They're tied for first and last place.
It is 5-way tie.
Yeah.
A 5-way tie for first place in the Central. Everybody's 2-4.
Yes, sir.
Minnesota's a red-hot team. They've won 2 in a row. They beat the White Sox, who's sitting right up there. The Los Angeles Dodgers are 8-0. Call last night in Los Angeles, Shohei Ohtani, who plays for the Waldron Woodpeckers. That's who the Iuka Hustlers are playing. I've had to take him on for 2.5 weeks in the opening week because he went to Japan. He scored a run in every game they played this year, and they win it last night on bobblehead night, and his manager, Dave Roberts, says, another bobblehead night means another big night for the best player in baseball. He is incredible. He is absolutely incredible.
Burnett's okay. I talked to him this morning.
The Braves are winless, aren't they?
Yeah, I just had to
Did he flash out his World Series?
No.
His World Series Atlanta Braves
I was concerned for
ring?
I was concerned.
You're very nice.
Yeah, thanks.
You're very nice. Just like I was rooting for the Mets last year. Only because what game was that when they kept hitting those hard? I sent you a text, man, that had been... And you were laying on the floor with...
911 was coming down the steps.
Okay, and then NFL rule things. Adam Teicher saying there may be more to the tush push. They've tabled it until May. I don't like that play.
I don't like it, but how are you going to make a rule? Oh, you're good at it, you can't do it anymore?
Yes.
Oh, well, come on.
In 2005, there was, all the way until 2005, there was a rule in the NFL. You can't aid the runner. It's a high school rule.
Yeah.
Okay, so why can't you, the way it goes right now, I mean, you can't jump up on somebody's back to try to block a field goal.
No.
Okay, so you're using a prop or something, right? Okay, so why not take the tush push away? Why don't you just put 2 running backs in the backfield, direct snap to the quarterback, he lays down, they take him 1, 2, 3, and they just hurl him over the top of the end of the end zone.
I like that.
Why couldn't you do that?
You could. But why did they take that rule away about? You're right. You used to not be able to push them. What did
they said it was too hard to officiate that.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling you what. If there's someone coming in behind the runner and pushing him forward, which I wouldn't want to be that guy.
No. I'd like to be on the bottom of that pile all the time.
Emphasis in high school football this past year was
it
aiding the runner.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard. You see a guy pushing him, or the easy one is is when a guy's fighting for the goal line and one of his teammates comes up and grabs his jersey and drags him into the end zone. That's not that hard a call either. I don't like the tush push. I'm sorry.
No, like I said, I don't really care for it, but it irritates me. I guess is they're really good at it. Let's ban it now. Well, you other teams could do it.
It's safety. It's safety. Someone's going to get hurt doing this.
We're going to safety now.
Well, it goes back to the same baseball argument. We'll just have them hit the ball the other way. Just because there's 7 people on the left side of the infield. I don't want to see Shohei Ohtani.
I want to hear Jack Lambert talk about safety.
Dick, well, I go back to Dick Butkus. Those guys. The other rule that I kind of like, last year, the dynamic kickoff, it was weird to watch it to start, but they would return the ball to the 30 if it was a touchback. Now they're going to put it at 35. And that is former NFL GM Tom Telesco saying it will make a difference. Okay, you want to kick it through the end zone, they're going to get it to 35. It's a lot better than seeing the ball go in the end zone and then you go to another Ham's beer commercial because that's another chance that they can put some more commercials in.
Yeah, that kickoff thing's kind of...
And the league also approved changes to the overtime rule and expanded replay assist.
Hey, Jimmy, what are you looking forward to next football season? I don't know, Dad. I'm 9 years old. Are you interested in what the guys are going to do on the football field for the team you root for? No, Dad. You know what I want to see? What do you want to see, Jimmy? More replays, Dad.
There you go, Clinton Yates. It's, an NFL play when you're watching it now on TV, you see a great play. What's the first thing you do? Do you continue to watch the guy in the end? You immediately look down in the lower right corner of the screen to see if the yellow light comes on for a flag.
Flag, right.
Now you're going to get it, and then, oh, no, that wasn't. We'll pick it up.
And you're going to have to start spending like $400 a month on all the new channels that they're going to be showing football games on. And,
yeah, that's true. They've got the NFL Red Zone.
Right. Well, Christmas, what are they saying? 2 games are on Netflix this year and 1 game's on...
Christmas Day games.
Yeah, come on.
2 on Amazon. Let's see, Amazon Prime. It's all over the place.
You can talk to your sister-in-law to set up that Ethiopian food trip to him more now. You won't be able to watch TV.
Okay, there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours. Barton baseball playing today, taking on first place Colby. That almost sounds as weird as saying first place Fort Hays State in the MIAA. That's where they're at right now. So a big series starting today at Lawson Biggs Field, 2 between the Cougars and Colby Trojans. Colby comes in first place, Barton is in second, and then they will play the final 2 games of that series on Sunday. It was originally said Saturday, and they pushed it back to Sunday. So want to see some good baseball today. Head on out to Lawson Biggs Field. Lady Cougars playing yesterday. They're having a nice season. Carson DeBose in on the show yesterday. They won 8-5, 10-7 against Colby. So the Lady Cougars now 17-3 in league play, 23-9 overall. They're in second behind Hutchinson. So next up for the Lady Cougars, let's see. Oh, they're going to play Sunday against Garden City. Originally scheduled for Saturday, but now moved to Sunday because the weekend's going to really stink as far as weather. Sunday's looking pretty good, so it looks all right.
Good move.
Okay. Got Fitzpatrick coming in. This is fun. See, you see how we prepare for the program and get down?
It's strictly.
And it's all about me, all about my ailing hip or whatever. It's all about me or Landon.
How about this Fort Hays State Tiger baseball program, though?
We are going to have Tony Moore on the show today.
Oh, yes.
Good show lead-in.
Nice.
So
at
Tony
375 right now.
Yeah, and I did a story on him yesterday with Gerard Welbrock. He immediately went out and went 0 for 4 with 4 Ks against Washburn.
Quiet.
But they wanted a walk-off. So we're going to talk to, how about that? Batting second for the Tigers right now and playing a pretty good second base as well.
Never played second before. I don't believe he's got a 964 fielding percentage.
Nice. He's like 432 on base percentage right now.
What a way for, if they could win the MIAA for Coach Hammocky, wouldn't that be awesome?
I think that's his biggest frustration for Curtis. The baseball
awesome.
Program hasn't been up to where
that'd be a great way to go out.
2000 NCAA Division II College World Series. It's the best event ever. They play a game, they wait a day, then they play another game, and then they wait another day. Nothing like being in Montgomery, Alabama.
Playing a little golf in between?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I had the kids, so
Oh.
yeah. We took them to Chuck E. Cheese's and stuff like that. But, yeah, Fort Hays finished second behind the Savages of southeastern Oklahoma, who are no longer the Savages. They're like the Red Storm or something now.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Is that like the Chiefs or the Washington Commanders?
Correct. Garrett, appreciate it.
Hey, you bet.
Come back anytime. I like to throw things off.
Okay.
Brandon just wants to talk about video gamers. He knows all about it, though, I'm telling you. All right, coming up, we're going to talk Panther baseball with a head coach. Coach Beck will be in just a moment here on... Oh, I've got to put this in. Since you're a host of the show, all right, you can read that one. And I've got this one. Sports Day brought you in part by the Marmiato Group on 10th Street in Great Bend.
Freedom Claims Management. Innovation healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of your everything for you from the start to the finish and continue support. They have you covered.
You got to talk right into the mic, though. Just so your boisterous voice is not heard as well. And by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. Okay, Coach
Sorry
Beck.
about that. I usually take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 4.
Because you guys, yeah. T-ball practice starts here before lunch.
That a yogism, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
Oh,
Okay. He was a Met, so why would I catch it? Okay, Sports Day coming up.
See, this is happy.
Look, did you see the Easter Bunny?
Really? Where?
Just kidding, but I made you look.
Mima, what does this have to do with garage doors?
Well, nothing really, but people will be happy they came to C&E Doors. We offer the best garage doors around. Plus, our service technicians can help solve any issue your garage door may have.
What does Papa do?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Great teachers start with a great education. At Barton Community College, our education programs give you the skills and experience to make a real impact in the classroom. Whether you're shaping young minds in early childhood education or leading the way in elementary or secondary education, Barton makes it easy to follow your passion. With affordable tuition, flexible courses, and real-world learning. Get started at education.bartonccc.edu because your classroom is waiting.
Pulling acres ahead of the competition is simple. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils are formulated with EnduroVis technology and a balanced additive package to control deposits for a cleaner, more efficient engine that gives you proven durability. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day here on KBGB. Our show also brought you in part by the Great Bend Recreation Commission. I didn't want to read this while Garrett was in here. Dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals. Joining us in studio now, the head coach of the Great Bend Panther baseball team, Randy Beck. Thanks for making time for me today. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my question is to start off with, so did you and Hammocky get together and say, man, we're going to go out at the same time?
No, actually, I don't think I talked to him. I talked to him at my dad's funeral. He came to it, and he mentioned it, but I hadn't announced anything yet at that point. So, yeah. So
no,
it wasn't spoken.
Well, I think it's perfect that you guys go out at the same time.
Yeah. What a great guy.
Yeah. It's funny because he reminds me of you, and you remind me of him in your mannerisms. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't know. Okay.
He was my coach in college.
Yes. You've got the same managerial stance. that he had. So there you go. So there's that's how it goes.
I guess I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, you say,
I'll take it.
You stand there with your hands in your pockets on a cold day, and it's like a mirror image. So there you go.
All right.
So you decided to this is it.
This is it.
What a team to go out with, though.
I know. I told the seniors it's me and them, and let's make it a memorable one.
So here we are in the middle of it. You got off to a good start, and then you had to go to Hayes on, is it Tuesday?
Yep.
I was kind of wondering if they're going to even play that because the wind things. I'm glad you went ahead and got through. But that game had it all, didn't it? You had a lightning delay. Let's see. You rallied from 3 down and you scored and take the lead. That's a pretty good baseball game.
Yeah. It was, and we knew it. I mean, it always is when we play Hayes. I was talking to Coach Dreher, and it's like, yep, another barn burner with us, and it's highly competitive, and, there's a lot of emotion that goes on with our games, and which is great. I love it. That's what baseball's about right there.
You came back and took the lead. I think he scored 3 to get the lead back, and then they ended up winning the game 5-4. Just thoughts on that game as your team was really challenged, really for the first time all year.
Yeah. I felt like early in the game we gave away a few ABs. The Johnson kid threw really well against us. I'm not taking anything away from him. He found his curveball and he was keeping that thing in the zone. But I felt like our approach needed to change a little bit. So late innings, got them together and talked about that a little bit. I think it locked them back in. But if we could have just did something earlier in the game, I think that's a completely and totally different game.
When you talk about approach, what are you talking about, Randy?
Like your AB, like how you're going to move runners. Is your job to move a runner? We have runners on first and second, no outs. You're a bunt guy. Are you going to be able to, do that? If it's a kid that has a good curveball or a good fastball, what's he starting everybody off with? What do you like to see early in the count? And if you get that pitch, you need to be ready for it. And just different things like that.
That can be, I guess, learning tools down the road. So the thing is, you like the WAC schedule the way it is, where you maybe play a single game and then you come back and play a doubleheader at a later date, although it will be here in Great Bend.
Well, this is the first year doing it. I guess we'll find out, right off the get-go, I was against it, but we'll see what happens. I'm trying to have an open mind about it.
So how many games did we play before? You just play 8 games for the baseball title?
Yeah, you go home away every other year playing the doubleheader.
Okay, the only thing with that is it seems like drive all the way to Liberal for one game,
Well, they're doing that this year.
Okay, they are.
Yep, we go there for a double, so at least it's worth the trip in my mind.
Talk about this team. And then, so do you have 23 games this year?
We have 26.
Okay, 20. Okay, so do you like that expanded number of games?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. It allows us to have a little more freedom with our scheduling. Like we started going to Kansas City, getting in that tournament, seeing some really good teams.
Yeah.
Some of the best teams in the state, especially in 5A. You're talking about DeSoto and St. Thomas Aquinas and, who we play again this year. And it really kind of gives us something to shoot for. We're not going up there and run rolling anybody. We're going up there and competing our butts off and, in a couple run games and seeing some really good players and which helps us out for postseason.
Well, let's talk about your team a little bit. Going into this year, obviously you have a lot of kids coming back, a lot of experience, been to state tournaments. What's the thing that you really like about this group?
I like that they compete. They get after it. We ended up obviously losing Tuesday, but nobody was happy after that game, and that's what I like. They felt it, and so when it comes around here in a couple weeks, when we see Hayes again, I think it's going to be another battle for 2 games.
In the world of pitch counts and things like this, you got to have some depth on your pitching. Seems like you have that.
We do. We have probably 5-6 guys that we trust getting up there. Not everybody's a starter, but, we have guys that can come in and give us some innings. Carson is our number one.
Right.
And Hunter Herman has thrown well for us, threw really well the other day. And then, we have Dax Minton, Cohen Robordi, Slade Moore, Peyton Olger. Trying to think, I don't want to leave anybody out here, but, those are Owen Kaiser, who really has been throwing well. He kind of became our closer last year. So, we're giving him more innings this year. But, we trust all those guys on the mound.
So do you like having an established closer, or is that it's kind of mix and match sometimes?
Well, it kind of depends, because Owen's a catcher as well. So, that was a good role for him because, pitching and catching is not an easy thing, and it's rough on the body and the arm. And so we got to be really careful, with those guys. So I think it worked out great. But we do have Jackson Wondra, who's kind of stepping in and help us out behind the dish and giving Owen a break and allowing him to start games for us now. And so I think it's the best of both worlds there.
So when you can mix and match, that's nice, but also when you move one guy from one place, then you got another one going to the other, it's a play-by-play guy's nightmare, because then you got to move your sheet around and everything like that. Is that the way it kind of is, though, with your team?
Yeah. I always like having guys that can play multiple positions, because when you start switching pitchers and moving guys around and, bringing guys in and out, I want them to feel comfortable. Peyton Olger plays infield and outfield for us, and so that's big, being able to do that, just being versatile, and that's really important. It also keeps you on the field, if instead of getting pulled off the field for somebody else because you can't play another position.
So you've coached a few years at Great Bend now. How many?
This is 30.
Okay. Offensively, how's this team kind of match up with some of the other good offensive teams that you've had?
Really good. We started off on fire this year. 1 through 9 was stroking it. We faltered early innings, and then we exploded for 4 in the 6th, which we kind of woke up a little bit like, okay, yeah, let's get this done. So it ranks right up there. I'm trying to think. I think 2011 and 2012, one of those years, we hit the ball really well then too. I mean, if you look at our team records, most of them come from, those years.
Right.
Although, before I started as head coach, we had some really good hitting teams as well, but I didn't get those stats.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unfortunately, but ranks right up there at the top.
Like this team's defense?
I do. We had a couple miscues on Tuesday, which ended up hurting us a little bit. But other than that, we've been playing pretty solid ball. Probably need to execute small ball a little bit better than what we have. And, yesterday we worked on it. We had a little bunt scrimmage going on, and so worked on it at the plate, threw it live. Instead of throwing pins, we had our pitchers come in and throw live, and we fielded everything. So that's always a good little drill to do a couple times a year, and keeps everybody on their toes. And, everybody knows they're bunting, but that's the way it is. You still have to execute it, right?
Like the Brewers did yesterday with their, 13.2 mile per hour exit velo for the game-winning hit.
13.2.
13.2 exit velo, went 10 feet.
Oh my God!
Won the baseball game. Yeah, throw down that squeeze bunt. You go to Pratt tomorrow, and area farmers love spring baseball because that means welcome rains will be coming soon. So we'll see if we can get it in tomorrow. But thoughts on go down to Pratt, play the Greenbacks tomorrow?
Yeah. I just looked at the hourly schedule for Pratt earlier, and it looks like we should be able to get it in. I think they have an infield turf.
Yep.
So, I think it's rain in the morning, and then starting until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then after that, it looks like we should be good as long as everything else is fine. We should be able to get those games in.
Coming off the loss, what do you want to see from your team tomorrow?
Well, I want to see us score early and often. But sometimes pitchers, they have your number, and, they always say good pitching beats good hitting any day of the week. So we got to be ready to compete at the plate. And, when we score early, take some pressure off of our pitchers, to pitch with the lead. And, if there's a mistake or, somebody, hits one out or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But if we're down 1 or 2 and that happens, then it magnifies it a little bit for us. But, even, Tuesday, I felt like, man, we're going to get this done. We're going to get this done. I mean, even all the way down to the last out, we're going to get it done. And unfortunately, we didn't. But that's the confidence that they've given me, that they can do that. So, but, tomorrow, yeah, let's throw a lot of strikes. Let's hit the ball. Let's make things happen. Have good base running. That kind of hurt us a little bit on Tuesday, but just play solid, and get ready for, we have Dodge Monday. So we go Dodge, Liberal, Hayes in our next 3 meetings after that. So, those are obviously important games as far as, meeting our goal of winning the WAC.
Pitching plans tomorrow?
Might be throwing by committee.
Okay, committee day.
Yeah. I'd like to give a couple kids a start. Like Dax has not been up there and through a lot, but we need to get him up there, get him some more innings and that type of stuff. Cohen Raborti came in and threw really well the other day at Hutch. Guys like that. We're going to be ready to win. It's a single on Monday, so that helps. So we got to be ready to compete again, after 2 days rest. So looking forward to it.
Well, good luck tomorrow, and we'll talk to you next week. Hopefully we can get some kids in here as we go down the stretch here of the season, and appreciate you being in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Randy Beck, not Curtis Hammocky, even though he puts his hands in his pockets the same. With us here on Sports Day. Cole Life coming up next.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Pleasanton.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC. Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
He's the voice of Pleasanton High School football, the Barton County Cougars, and the king of the tweeter machine. It's Cole Reif on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back, Sports Day. We're talking Cougar basketball. That happened a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
it feels weird following up Randy Beck. This is springtime. I'm not supposed to be on the show anymore, so.
No, you're a valuable contributor, especially since all my other guys they just left me. So no, you got to be here on Tuesday. There's plenty of things we could talk about.
I was told Corson's coming back.
He was on today.
Oh, he's already been on.
Well, no, he's coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So has he submitted an application? Is he back on staff?
He just sounded just like he was
okay.
He was on the AM Great Bend show this morning. He was a friend of the show.
Oh, good.
We're just working him back in slowly.
He's got 3 news stories he needs to write by tomorrow. So he's been slacking. He hasn't written a story in like a month and a half. I don't know what's the deal.
Are you excited that Duke's in the Final Four, or is it? I'm sorry. My fandom for college is going down, Cole. It's going down.
I would agree. I'm excited because it's fun. The whole tournament itself is more fun when your team's winning.
Yeah,
like when Duke loses, if they lose in the first round, second round, I don't watch a single game. I might watch a championship. That's about it. I don't want to sound arrogant, but Final Four is cool, and I know like as a team, it's a special moment. But from a fan base, if you don't win the championship, I don't really care about your Final Four. Like, you go back to 2022, Coach K's last year, lost to North Carolina in the Final Four. Don't care about that year at all. Absolutely. Like there's no, I'm sure there's a banner somewhere of a Final Four appearance, but, yeah, like, unless you win the championship, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't mean much. I mean, that's spoiled.
I don't know, because, KU goes from preseason number 1 to out of the rankings to
not having anybody on the roster right now. You see that? It's a mass exit right now at KU.
That's fine.
Oh, I agree.
Except you start, obviously, the guys they had before stayed there so long they got old.
Very old. Well, you can see like Caleb Love for Arizona. It was like, that guy's got to be on year 5 or 6. Yeah, it's some old guys.
There's just, anyway. So good luck to your Duke.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think that Duke Houston is probably the 2 best teams. I think they're both better than Auburn and Florida. Not to say those 2 teams aren't good, but if I put money on it, I think Houston and Duke are probably the 2 best that are left. So
defense, man.
Houston's the tough, physical. Obviously, you've seen them in the Big 12, but just tough and physical. Make the good plays. And I think
Alabama shoot threes against Duke? Is it 8 for 32 or something like that?
Yeah, after hitting 25 in the previous game. But I mean, you talk about a coach that has reemerged, like Kelvin Sampson. He was never bad. I remember when he was at Oklahoma, but he kind of got a bad rap. I think he had Blake Griffin during that time, so he had that one good year. But nobody was talking about Kelvin Sampson that much.
Well, he tried to go in and resurrect Indiana, like everybody else does, and then And
now look at him. He's considered probably top 3, top 5 coaches, active coaches right now.
One of those guys that can get away with coaching hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that anymore.
Yeah, I like him. He's good.
Guys will take off. Okay, sum up Barton's season. Whew. I mean, it was really cool. You think, golly, I thought they could come back and get that.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't. And then you think, well, guys, are we getting spoiled now, back to back?
Very much so. Very much so.
Because that's what you expect, right?
Yeah, I think all season it was just kind of an odd year in a way. And I thought Coach Combs, you know, like he typically does, hit it pretty well in the post game after that Sweet 16 loss. I didn't feel the bullseye on their back as much from like a standpoint of taking on different teams. Like it probably was early on the season. They started out like 8-0, 9-0. And then, but once they had that 3-game slide, like end of November, early December, before Christmas break, I kind of felt like the bullseye left from my standpoint. Now the players and the coaches, you know, probably think differently as far as teams that are always trying to give them the best. The thing I felt the most, like all season long, was more internal pressure in that it was unfair for this year's team because all season long it was a comparison. It was a comparison to last year. And like usually that kind of breaks by mid-November, December, but especially the second semester where you move on. But I felt like, you know, it wasn't like just good like fan base of Barton. Like any fan base I think would have done it. So unfairly, it was just if they didn't win another national championship, like I think there was going to be this like sense of letdown, which is like crazy to think about. Like you can't win a national championship every year.
Well, you were just talking about everything. Being a Duke fan.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but like there was because like even like just talking to fans in January and February and March, it was like you kept hearing last year. Well, this year's team, last year's team defended better. You know, last year's team did this, last year's team had that. Like it was just a constant. So like, and I thought Coach Combs, you know, talking to him after the Sweet 16, you know, mentioned the fact that this is probably one of his toughest years coaching. Just because they set that bar so high, the expectations. So, I mean, you look back at it, you won 26 games, you finished third in the standings, you had a couple guys get on the first team selection, you made it to the third straight year to the Region 6 title game, you were selected to go to the national tournament for just the sixth time in school history, first time back-to-back appearances, and you won a game by 30 at the national tournament and made it to the Sweet 16. So, in all rights, it was a very successful year. But, like I said, because of what they did last year, I just thought it was unfair. It didn't matter what this team did. Unless they won another national championship, there's going to be that unrealistic letdown, I guess, you know, from fans. But at the same time, I mean, everybody knows that was a very good year and the program's in good sites. And those are good expectations to have. Like, that's a good problem to have, that the bar is set so high. Now, next year maybe you get to kind of move on a little bit. I think next year will have a little bit different feel to it, but this year, so you can just tell that like 2024 team was always like that shadow that was lurking and, you know, creeping up on them. So that was tough, but it's still, especially a really good year.
Austin Downing goes to Seward. I told you that it's like the Bill Snyder comment after the Stoops boys went to Oklahoma. See, I don't mind that. The apple, you know, I don't like it. Apple falls so close to the tree.
Yeah.
But he'll probably do really, really good down there. So
I think so too. Yeah, he's solid. I mean, you talk about a guy that, you know, had his fingers in, you know, some of the recruiting already here at Barton, so that was good. What's that guy want?
I think he wants me to pick his kid up at 3:30, but I don't know about that. Sean, I'll call you right back here in just a second, okay? You're on with Cole Rife. Sean Gleason from Gleason Landscaping here on the program. But no, I think he'll do really well. So
yeah, I think he's going to. I mean, he's already off and running. You know, I told him he's getting an upgrade in broadcasters of Brock down in Liberals. So that's a huge move for him in that regard. And yeah, he's solid. I'm excited to see his success. And if there's any team I'm going to root for in the JR Conference outside of the Barton Cougars, it'll be Seward County now.
Sounds good. Cole, appreciate it.
Yep, you bet.
And you are back on next week.
I get another, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure we'll find something.
Okay, fair enough.
We can talk to Landon about his video gaming, man. He's one of the top guys in the country.
Well, I've moved up into the top 200,000 in the world in NCAA college football. I started up around 1 million. I'm slowly working my way down chart.
The one and only Cole Rife with us. Another one and only, Mike Corson is back. Well, just for a segment, we're going to talk track and field in the area right after this.
See doors, this is Hadley.
Look, did you see the Easter Bunny?
Really? Where?
Just kidding, but I made you look.
Meemaw, what does this have to do with garage doors?
Well, nothing really, but people will be happy they came to C&E Doors. We offer the best garage doors around. Plus, our service technicians can help solve any issue your garage door may have.
What does Papa do?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Jumpstart your education with Barton Online. You can pick up a class or earn an associate degree for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling. Start when it works for you. Choose from 5 sessions throughout the semester, including 16, 8, and 4-week options. Save big on the way toward your career or tackle your gen eds with our low-cost pathway. Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day. Mike Corson, joined today by Steve Webster.
He's back.
It was a reflex. I heard the intro, and I'm used to saying that.
Well, doggone it, I just played it because it brings back good memories, and it's cool to have you back in studios. And of course, anybody who knows Mike Corson starts blowing up his phone right now. Get him back in here. So how's your new life?
It was not busy. Now it's busy. Spring is, I tell you, it snuck up on me. They said, you want to cover a track meet next week? Wait a minute, it was still a week off. Nope. So I had to go back and do a back week of work and be nice once it's done.
Mike Corson is our KVGB track and field insider right now. And again, to revisit, why do you like track and field so much and running events?
I don't even know.
Cross country. I mean, it's your passion now.
It became that, and several years ago I started doing the track rankings for Catch It Kansas, so I go through every meet in the state of Kansas, boys and girls, 18 events, basically rank the top 20, and then it tracks the top 16, put the regionals in there so the coaches and kids can go through and say, hey, I'm 6th best in the classification, but I'm still 4th best in my regional. So they know they got to run 2 seconds faster. And it just became, I suppose when money's attached, it becomes a passion. But then just the team sports, it's always like, Tom Brady's the best. Well, I don't know. He's got 11 guys out there. Track, it's mano-y-mano.
Like wrestling, which you like covering too.
Yeah, become 2 of my favorite things.
Yeah, you can't blame somebody else if you get... You can always blame the ref, right? I mean, that's still available for any sport. But.
Yeah, media loves rankings, but yeah, it's always kind of subjective, all those team sports. But wrestling rankings and track rankings mean a lot to me.
Yeah, but see, you don't, and unless you drop a baton, usually you're not, well, if you jump, a false start can be there, but that's still on you, so... Yeah, okay, very good.
And the conditions, and especially cross country, some of those courses are going to be easier. Like, I've set the state record on a flat course. Well, we'll see what happens at states.
So how many state records have been broken in the 100 with 55-mile-an-hour winds at people's back?
I didn't even look. I know the kid from Capon, so the Jack Guthridge, so this will be a factor in Class 5A for Great Bend. He was the 400 champion last year, runner-up in the record-setting 100-meter dash, but I don't think they were win legal at state last year. So the kid from Seaman graduated, so now it's the Jack Guthridge show. Season debut in the heat and wind, 10:23, which was a quarter-second faster than any time run last year. First meet of the season. So I don't really care how windy it was. It's still impressive. And that's 10:23, you're getting into... pretty rarefied air for high school kids in Kansas.
See, it's always bothered me since they went from yards to meters because I'm the 100-yard dash guy. The 100-yard, well, not that I did it, but it was the 100, the 220, and the 440, and the 880, and the mile.
And I don't know how many of those tracks, there's at least probably 2 left, but I like them because those times don't even count. It's like, we don't chart 440s and 880s.
And just think if you were in the and you still get your name in the state program.
Well, I think the Hoisington, there's some coaches over there that are the school 4x2 champions. And nobody runs that anymore either. Even though it's meters, nobody runs the 4x2.
And I don't think anyone could have taken Nolan Cromwell's 440 time away from him anyway. So it was like 40, I don't know. Anyway, okay, let's get to... Why don't you just come back? My God. You're just like peanut butter jelly here, you know? Okay, let's get started. Cooper Omott, sophomore. All he does as a freshman is go out and wins the triple jump. So what's he doing so far this year?
Practicing. We hope.
Okay.
So, yeah, obviously he had that basketball injury. We'll see how it goes. Great Bend opens the season, I think, tonight, Junction City. It was tonight, then it was rescheduled to Friday. Now it's back to today. So we'll see a whole lot of what Great Bend does, but keep in mind conditions are going to be far from ideal for track and field across the state today.
Just seeing him jump when he came back in just a couple of those basketball games, I think he's looking pretty good.
It is kind of a violent, unnatural movement, that triple jump. And then what I'm seeing already, I put little cut lines in there to rank my kids so I don't have to overwrite my data over and over. I don't know what's going on, but the long jumpers and triple jumpers have been off the charts already this year, so we'll see if he can keep his lead, but hopefully he's improved like some of these other kids have.
Is it like the javelin you like to throw into the wind, a little bit of breeze into your face?
I tell you, it doesn't make sense, but boys and girls, we're seeing some stuff that you don't normally see till super late in the year, so even with the wind, I just can't believe it's been that big of a factor.
Okay, let's talk about some other events and talk about Hoiston sophomore Marley Biddle, 9th best returning state time in the 100.
Yeah, and she's also up there in the 200, so that's Class 3A. You've got a record setter from Heston, the Ashley Lehman girl, who I will get to see tonight in Moundridge, I hope. But once again, it'll be cold. So, yeah, to come out as a freshman last year, blaze those times. Hopefully the future's super bright for her. And the Lehman girl's only a junior, so that will set up some really good races in Class 3A.
Okay, where's Ashley Lehman?
Heston.
Okay, Heston. Okay, very good. Let's talk about 5A distance runners. What stood out so far?
5A is probably going to be your best. 6A, usually you got all those Olathes and whatnot, but 5A was where you got Ryan Miller from Topeka Seaman, a junior, and Caitlin Roop from Salina Central, the senior. Miller comes out 4:59 in her first mile of the season.
4:59?
Only sub-5
That's
girls.
That's 1,600. It's not the mile,
This is
Mike.
correct.
Okay.
This is correct. Only sub-5 so far, so I think the same day Caitlin ran a 5:02 elsewhere around the state, but those times are only like 13 seconds off their season best from last year already. And then also for Central, you got Kaylee Schultz, the sophomore, who's up there with those. So those are going to be your three. And they've gone back and forth almost every meet they go to. And then Caitlin seems to know how to win the big races and often runs slower times throughout the year, but can clip Miller in the big races. So this year will be funny. Great Bend's had those 1632s for so long. Graduation, so it'll be a new fleet of Great Bend girls to try to get up there and compete.
Okay, the 800 is one of my favorite races. It's 2 laps, and there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of strategy involved in the 800. It's one of my favorite races.
It's almost become a sprint at this point, and we saw that last year with 2 Great Bend girls breaking that old school record. So Ileana Beckham graduated, but Reese Bullard, if you see her, I think she looks more fit every time you see her. So she's putting in the work. She ran cross country for the first time this fall. So she'll have to compete with probably Miller, Schultz, maybe even Roop, but probably not. But curious to see her progress in an event where she's already broken the school record.
I'm always interested in girls that do other events that maybe you don't expect. You know, like wrestling and homecoming queen.
Yes.
Like Daisy Gomez, right? So Kara Herbert, a state qualifier in wrestling, is also pretty good in the 100 hurdles.
Yeah, Larned girl, she's been, as a freshman, I think she got into the rankings pretty good. So always, hurdles were really solid last year. I think 6A girls went, top 5 all time. So for her to be in the state list as the top 16 returners, good for her. Yeah, but good athlete. Obviously, it was the state qualification in wrestling.
Okay, high jump. The Elligood girls.
We'll see. Hopefully we'll see some marks today. I don't know. Micah got injured regional championship in wrestling, so didn't get to go to state there. How will that impact her? So I've never seen her jump, but I hear good things. And then it's going to be Waction all year in the high jump with Katie Lindenberger. No-heighted last year, was one of the 5 girls to clear 5'6" last year, but no-heighted at regionals. So you're going to bet she's going to be hungry, and I'm guessing Great Bend will see Hayes quite a bit this year.
But she's 6 foot.
Takes all kinds.
If you're 6 foot, you can't clear 5. There's a girl down and went to Skyline. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
See KJ?
Yeah, Carrie Jones, yeah. She went 5'8".
How tall was she?
She was 5'8".
See, but you have to put all that over the bar. So sometimes I think you should be smaller and put a smaller. So Lakin had a girl who came to the Great Bend meet last year. She came out, I think, at 5'8", and she's a tall girl, but she never hit that mark again.
Does anyone do the scissor kick to high jump anymore?
I would love to see it. I've never seen it.
That used to be the way you did it, or the bear roll.
I don't know what levels they were getting to, but even just set the bar at 4.2 and scissor kick it.
Well, see, we didn't have these fancy pits either. I mean, it was usually like 3 mattresses thrown down. Even at the high school event, you get, if there's a high school hosting the meet, at least you get a king-size mattress.
Well, yeah, so when you go over back first, you need something soft. So I'd love to see somebody do the old scissor kick.
You never saw the old, the high jump and pole vault pits. It used to be like netting with these big chunks of foam in them, and those guys were going up and going 13 feet and coming down in that. Or they came down in sand.
Which begs the question, why wasn't this on TV and it would be popular right now as opposed to being on Peacock? Hey, let's put a track meet on CNBC.
I won't go to that channel just because of the BC on it, but that's
the business channel. You're safe.
Okay.
Larned had his JV meet. I'm going to put that in air quotes. Natalie Daniels, a former wrestler for Great Bend, went through like a 35-8 or something shot put, so she's up in my 5A rankings already. And I think she's even coming off some injuries, so be curious to track her. JV, it was Michaela Minton maybe going to run. Nope. So I'm hopeful that that's telling that she's going to be high varsity level. We'll see hopefully some good times out of her. But, yeah, you look outside today, it's definitely not track weather. I'm angry that I have to take 2 jackets to a track meet.
Well, and now you don't get the opportunity to ask Lyles Lashley on the radio. Said, well, what about the conditions? And hear his scoffing voice say, well, everybody's got to run in that stuff.
Yeah, and to me, it's been frustrating because normally we're pretty chilly, so the sprinters take a while to fill my sheets. I'm telling you, I have seen more sub-11 boys in the first week. I'm guessing that's a record number of kids. And then a 10-23, come on.
Okay, he's back. Mike Corson, our KVGB track and field insider. We'll have a lot to talk about, especially with Great Bend coming up. It involved tonight, and then we can talk about it next week.
Finally, mostly 5A, 6A results this week, but we'll start seeing more schools this week.
And where can people follow you at? Catch It Kansas?
CatchItKansas.com. I believe we're going to post those every Wednesday, but this week it'll be a Thursday just to cram in kept me up till 11:30 last night, cramming in Tuesday meets.
Mike Corson with us here on Sports Day. Glad he's back in the studio. It feels like home until he leaves. Okay, Sports Day continues after this.
If you're needing a health care plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no-obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
It's going to wrap up today's show. I want to remind you, tomorrow We'll be talking with Fort Hays State Tiger freshman, former Houston Cardinal standout Tony Moore about the impact he's had in his first year on the Tiger baseball team. Sunflower Sports Solutions, Connor Nickelback. We'll get an update on all the early returns from softball and baseball. And we'll also talk to Mike Hesher a little bit on the show tomorrow before he heads to Pratt. He will have the Lady Cougar softball team also plays at Pratt tomorrow along with the baseball team. And we'll have that doubleheader for you on B1043 The Point. So we'll get Hesh's thoughts on that, all the Friday headlines and the sounds the past 24 hours. That's on the show tomorrow. Right here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. We are the talk of the town.